All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash, double honors to our apostle elders, which rule great millstone while, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa above the ball. So this Alabama mom was allegedly tortured by 8 suspects over stolen gun, fatally shot and tossed at dump site. Alright, so this woman, which you see a picture of, they got a picture of her and her kid in here. Right here. You can see she's a average, American dot. Right, little hood rat. Probably don't even know who the daddy is to that baby. But what she did was she stuck a gun into this guy's face and made him get naked in front of everybody. And it shamed him, right? Embarrassed him, and pretty much she pretty much crossed the line. There was no turning back from, because it tells you right here that he was gonna get her because of what she did to him. Look, see, you can see she's a Babylonian bimbo. It says right here, her name was Mahogany. It says Mahogany, which her mom was a fucking hood rat. That's why she got that name, Mahogany. It said, had joined the group of her own accord on February 24th before a confrontation. Between them, soured car confirms. So they were hanging out in a group. And that's why you really don't want to be hanging out at these groups or these gangs or these parties, because crazy shit goes on and judgment happens, alright? It says she had gone to Brandon Pope's, which is that Jake I showed you, the man. This is of Harris, alright, one of the ones that were there, but Brandon Pope was the one she stripped. But this guy, it says mugshot of Francis Harris. But there was about 8 people together, but it took this one guy that she stuck the gun in his face. It says right here, she had gone to Brandon Pope's home that night to confront the 24-year-old over a gun she had previously stolen and believed that she stole to now be in his possession. So it was a stolen gun she stole, and she believed that this guy, Brandon Pope, stole it from her. And so she went to go confront him, thinking she was some kind of tough shit, right? Because she probably got a train ran on her. She thought she could handle a guy or two. It says, Detective Mark Green testified per AL.com's report from inside the courtroom Wednesday. Taking a gun from Jeremy McDowell, 18-year-old, Mahogany aimed the gun at Pope and allegedly forced him to strip to prove that he did not have the gun, the outlet reports. See, they didn't tell you that in the headline. They didn't say a woman got killed for shaming a man by making him strip. No, they try to play on the strings of your heart by saying, an Alabama mom allegedly tortured by 8 suspects over stolen gun. They don't tell you that the bitch stole the gun that she was looking for, that got stolen, and that she made a grown-ass man strip naked in front of everybody with a gun, right? To act like she was some kind of tough shit. And now everybody's supposed to cry because this hood rat is dead. It says, angered by the gunpoint strip down, Pope, who did not have the gun, see, he didn't even have the gun that she stole from someone else. It says later allegedly instructed the group with words to the effect of kill her or do something to her. That bitch made me strip, Green said, AL.com reports. So this bitch ain't no innocent bitch. And I ain't saying what they did completely was righteous, because there was some foul shit going on. Alright? But this bitch caught her judgment. That's all it is. They said they found her in a dump, where you throw trash, because she ain't nothing but trash, and all she had on was socks. And what made me really grab onto the story in my mind was, I remember the brother, I believe it was the elder brother, he had a dream, and he said women were running down the street naked in socks. And what it was men were ripping the clothes off of them, and they might have slipped out and escaped during the rape or whatever, and they're running down the street just like that Mexican lady in the movie Leave the World Behind. Please help me, please. But she's so hilarious, you can't even understand the shit they're saying. Snot coming out, tears, blood, right? And they're just running naked in socks, because that's all they got left after being raped, gang raped. See, and that's what's going to happen to these women of America. All right, they're going to be tortured to death, because what have they done with their lives but torture men, which the Lord put the man over the woman. See, and these women like this, any woman like this that think because you got a gun you're better than a man, or you can fight a man, you're sadly mistaken. All right, the Lord's going to give you to the hands of men, and they're going to fucking tear you to pieces and then eat your flesh after they rape the shit out of you. That is the future for the women. All right, I'm going to just grab a couple of scriptures and make the point. It's going to be in Zechariah 14. This is prophesying about the judgment that's going to happen in America. It says in Zechariah 14:2, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle," talking about the nations are all these UN troops, the European Union troops, which is under the UN. The UN is under the EU, right? The EU is controlled by America, and really the elite. America is the horse that rides the beast. The beast being the European Union, which they have a military, right? NATO, which you have the UN, the other nations. And they're gathering them here in America to battle against the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. And you see why? Because these people are fucking worthless reprobates, except for the remnant that are repenting, returning to what is right, all right, according to as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. Those are the remnant that are going to be saved. The majority of the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian that, been scattered throughout the world, that are here in America, right? You got all these people coming to America only to die in a lake of fire, the nuclear destruction of America, after they make the implantable microchip mandatory for buying and selling throughout the world. It says, "And the city shall be taken by" what? Troops. "And the house is rifled," meaning they're going to destroy your home, look for the goods, look for money, look for your treasure, your jewelry, look for your children that you hid in the closet. It says, "And the women ravished." That word ravished means raped. All right? And then they're going to kill you, or take you and sell you, or eat you. It says, "Go, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity." And that's another thing. Half of the city is going to go into FEMA camps. It says, "And the residue, the remnant of the people, shall not be cut off from the city." Now, let me get Isaiah 13. It says the same thing. This is a future prophecy. It says in verse 11, "And I will punish the world for their evil," which today these women are just as evil as the men, right? And the men are evil. That's why they're selling drugs. That's why they're sleeping with each other's wives. That's why they're aborting their babies. They allow these women to rule over their children, right? They just give up on taking care of their children. You're worse than an infidel. You're worse than a fucking Edomite, right? So these women that kill their own children, they're worthless, right? And most of these women, Jake women, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian women, they've killed many babies of their own. They stuck many men in prison for no reason. So they're going to be caught up in the judgment too. It says, and I will punish the wicked, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. Talking about the so-called Caucasian, all right, that actually teach these devils, these reprobates, these two-third, how to be thugs and gangsters and hood rats and homos and all this other shit. The wicked and them that do wickedly shall perish. It says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And that's what's going on. You got the pride of the so-called white man, and that's why the whole world is wicked, because they're the wicked ruling the world, right? And then you got the Jake that do wickedly with them, that wants to be joined to the heathen. It says, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, right? It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, talking about the elect men, he's going to allow them to become valuable and precious, because we're going to be okay throughout all this trouble that's going to happen in a short period of time to Jake. It says in verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. So that, you know, in the movies Purge, every time you turn a corner, there's someone trying to kill you. That's how it's going to be. But not just people. You're going to have animals. You're going to have apparitions. You're going to have all these things hunting you, including people. It says, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, which eventually they're all going to die in that lake of fire. Their sons also shall be dashed to pieces, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Once again, the Lord's going to allow these troops to go in there, kill the man, eat the food, drink the liquor, rape the woman, take the kids, for food later. That's how it's going to be. And it's going to happen quick and hard. Let me go ahead and get one more section of scripture, and now I'm done. I believe the point has been made. 2nd Ezra 16 and 35. It says, I'm going to start at 33. The virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. And who's going to destroy them? These foreign troops that are being brought in. And their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Right? Now, I'm going to jump down to, I'll just read through verse 36. It says, behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So don't believe these false idols. Don't believe in all these, I forgot what they call them. There's a word for them, fables. All right, don't listen to these false doctrines that a woman is stronger than a man, that a woman don't need a man, right? And even a man. You got to be careful with these women, because look at this woman, when she got a gun in her hand, she thought she was more powerful than a man. You see? So you got to be cautious with being a man with the women, but also these women, you got judgment coming just like if you was a man. All right? And it's because of the wicked that is upon our people because of their sin. And they're going to be destroyed for their sin. Now the remnant is going to be delivered through Yahweh Shai, and I'm going to end it with that. That's a good ending. Matthew 21, verse 21. And that's really why the 2/3 are going to be destroyed in the lake of fire, is because they do not embrace Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, as it says, kiss the Son, lest he be angry and destroy you with his glory. Matthew 1 verse 21, and this is an angel talking to Joseph, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins. See, and that's what the 2/3 don't recognize. They don't recognize Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, so Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai doesn't recognize them. And so he's going to destroy them just like heathen, because they're acting and operating like heathen.